there, Cape Cod. It's high noon on Wednesday. Well, high noon in a couple of minutes. And you're here with Life with Gwenn, the Cape Cod Times lifestyle talk show. We come in each week to talk about whatever's going on in life. And this week, a community restaurant is celebrating its silver anniversary, 25 years for Jake Rooney's. And you are General Manager Kate Lomask.
Yes, hi.
Kate, thanks so much for coming, especially since it's such a busy week for you guys.
Thank you, Gwen. Yes, it is a busy week. We're really happy to be celebrating our 25th anniversary.
And technical difficulties, no problem. This is the fun part of a live show. You have a technical difficulty now and then. I feel like I'm talking to myself. So, Kate, you're the general manager, but you came in 2015, is that right?
That's right, yep.
You also hold another important title at Jake Rooney's, which is you are the owner's and founder's daughter.
Yes. My
So-
father started the restaurant 25 years ago.
Tell me a little bit about your dad and also about the origin of the name. I was reading about that.
Oh, right. Well, my father he worked on Wall Street for years, and it was always his dream to own a restaurant. And then eventually the opportunity presented itself, so he invested some money and he bought what used to be Bobby Burns years ago and turned it into Jake Rooney's.
And that's Brooks Road and Route 28,
Brooks
right?
Road and 28, yep. The corner. We always say on the curve in Harwich Port.
Right, and I think that I read that the middle name Jake is from your grandfather's middle name.
That's right.
And
My
Rooney
grandfather
from
was
your
Carl
mother's
Jacob.
side.
And Rooney is from my grandmother, my dad's mother's side. So it's both coming from his family, but it's nice to have the family names in there just to remind us of where we came from.
Exactly, and you're going over a lot of that because you have a complete history of the restaurant that's up on your website right now.
Yes.
So, and you remember the website is
JakeRooney's.com.
JakeRooney's.com. So if you want to read a lot of details, we also have a little bit in today's paper because the chef who has been with your dad since the beginning, Chef Anderson, shared his recipe for a Portuguese seafood dish, which looks delicious.
Oh, that's one of his best ones. The seafood Portuguese. Arthur Anderson is our chef, and he has been for years, and he's just amazing. He's amazing with soups and sauces, and everything that he makes is actually really delicious. We have so many compliments on the food all the time. It's easy to work there because no one ever complains. Everything's really always good.
Well, that's good. I think probably after 25 years, you develop somewhat of a following, wouldn't you think?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
So-
people, I think they know by now that they can come to see Jake Rooney's and have nice, fresh, delicious food.
But sometimes people come for another aspect of the restaurant, and that is to cook their own food. And I see that you've brought with you some of what we can expect if we go for the Stone Grill experience. So why don't you tell me a little bit about this and how it works?
Okay. Well, the Stone Grill Dining is licensed, so we have the exclusive license on Cape Cod. We're the only restaurant that can offer this. My father found this years ago when he was traveling in Australia and brought the idea back to the United States and purchased the license. So this is the Stone Grill. This is a stone that's heated in a 750-degree oven.
And obviously not this one.
Not
this one is cold.
Right. This one is cold. And when the customer orders the food, the stone is taken out and placed on this special tray. And the tray is decorated with veggies and a starch, potato, rice, whatever you want. And then when the server is ready to pick it up, the stone is salted and the meat's put on, and then they take it out as fast as they can because the meat just starts cooking right away.
And this is interesting. This seems to have retained a little bit of the heat just from your hands,
Yeah.
So you can see that this stone is really concentrating the heat. If I could pick it up. What do you suppose it weighs? About 5 pounds?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Combine it with the tray, and you need some strong
I'll tell you
servers
what,
to carry
why
that
don't
out.
you
You want to do a little demonstration?
bring that over here.
All right. This is an actual heated stone.
So we will not be picking this one up.
No. Do not touch that one. And you get this little plate. Here's your silverware.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if this is still going to be hot enough because you brought it from Harwich Port, right?
We did, but we warmed it up in the oven for a little bit, so it might
It might not quite sizzle.
That's the
When
idea.
you do this in real time, you get some sizzle, I would imagine.
You do.
And you can. What are some of the dishes that you do with the stone grill?
Oh, well, we have a New York sirloin like this one. We have steak tips. We have an ahi tuna. We have a chicken, and you can do a mixed grill where you combine steak and seafood as you like.
And do you cook the veggies on there also, or does that come?
You know,
cooked?
you can get really creative with it. I've seen people even take their red wine. Would you like some wine?
Sure.
Thank you.
She didn't really bring wine. It's
This
pomegranate
is wine.
juice. I appreciate your thinking that we probably shouldn't be drinking at noon, but
But I have seen people do their own sauce where they'll take a little red wine and put it on the stone. You can take your veggies on here and just sort of glaze them if you want. You can really, like I said, you can get creative. You can even put your potato on there. The only thing you don't want to do is put pepper on it.
I tell me about that part. I was going to say put your fingers on it.
Don't put your fingers on it, right? But don't put pepper on it either because it'll create a little bit of an annoying mist
like a
that
smoke
would bother your eyes.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's released so quickly. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, that is, I would imagine that's pretty popular, especially for, people coming the first, second time. They want to try that out.
Yeah, it's funny because once they come once, they'll always get it again. People just kind of fall in love with the idea. It's fun and it's very healthy because we don't use any oils or anything added. So it's just the natural meat, and the stone is so hot that it sears in the juices. So it's healthy and delicious.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So now, do you do? This is the cooking that you do. You do other dishes besides the stone grill option. Yes.
Yes. You mean, do we have other items on
Yes.
the menu?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We have 64 items on the menu. It's large. We have a little bit of everything. We do have great, fresh, local seafood. And we do burgers and steaks and sandwiches, pizza, chicken. Really, there's something for everyone.
Is there I noticed that you have a $25 3-course prefix for this week for your birthday celebration. And I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
I can. I actually brought the menu with me. We're doing a $25 prefix, like you said. And Arthur came up with a bunch of special dishes. We have a chicken marsala, a baked stuffed half lobster, paella, linguine with clam sauce, steak tips, carbo verde, or a blackened haddock. And that's all for $25, and it includes soup and dessert.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to make sure we stay close to these, not too far away, because we, if you are interested in listening to the show rather than watching, a lot of people find that they have time in the car they don't have during the day. You can go to capecodtimes.com/lifewithgwenn podcast and sign up for the podcast so you can get each week's show on your car radio. Of course, last week we had dogs, canines dressed in costumes.
Oh, did you?
So you'd want to watch that one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Can't really get the sense of that from the car radio.
No.
But tell me a little bit about yourself. Now, since your dad did this after you guys got out of college, how many in the family?
4 altogether. 4 kids. I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. Yeah, I'm a 4 kids, and I'm the oldest as well.
Yeah.
So, but I don't have any restaurants in the family. So, after, what did you study, and what do you kind of bring to your general manager position?
Well, I studied education in school. And then I found out that I was more interested in marketing and web design. So I started my own web design company. And for years I did that. And then I started working with Dad's website. And he said, why don't you come up here after a couple of years? He said, just come on up and, you're doing a good job. So maybe we can keep going and you can just do it from here. And I said, okay. And that was a couple of years ago. And it's worked out really well since. So
are you enjoying living on the Cape?
Oh, I am. It's so beautiful up here.
It really is. Where did you come from?
Well, I came from Wilmington, North Carolina, which was not unlike how we have here. It's a tourist kind of city. You're very close to the beach. And in the wintertime, you have the beach all to yourself, and it's quiet and beautiful,
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. But this is definitely one of the most challenging jobs I've ever had, and one of the most rewarding, though, too.
Now, tell me a little bit about the restaurant. About how many do you seat, and
We have about 150 seats.
And you're year-round or seasonal?
We're year-round. We're open every day except for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you find that you get to know people, that there are, like neighbors who come in on a regular basis?
Yeah, I really do. Actually, that's one of the nice things about working there is we like to encourage a family atmosphere. And when people come in, everyone knows everyone's name, So it's kind of like a welcome home.
I think someone has that tagline.
Yeah, I know. We can't use that one.
But I get what you mean. That is a nice thing. I can recall living near a restaurant and being so tired some nights when you get home that you don't even know what you want. You say to the bartender, to the server, what do I want today? You get to know people, and that's a nice feeling.
We definitely have people like that. They walk in and we just go, there you are. And they go, oh, you remembered. Well, yeah, we do.
So tell me a little bit about, there are so many family restaurants on the Cape in terms of both seasonal places and year-round like yours. Tell me a little bit about some of the challenges of running a restaurant on a peninsula, with probably more business in the summer than during the year, that kind of thing. You have to be ready for those tour buses and things. Tell me a little bit about some of the challenges you found and ways you found to overcome them.
Well, a lot of it has to do with staffing. So we hire about twice as many people during the summer as we have during the winter. But it's actually not bad being a year-round restaurant, even though there is more business in the summer. Like you said, there are a lot of seasonal places that close down around us. So then we actually have less competition in the winter. And then our locals come out of the woodwork, and that's when we see them again.
A lot of the things on the specialty menu seem very geared to fall and to those sort of comfort foods, pasta and paella and things like that.
We try to actually change the menu as the seasons go on. In the summertime, we'll have lighter things and salads and stuff like that. And in the fall, Arthur sort of guides it towards, like you said, more comfort food.
I would imagine now, do you do like lobster rolls and that kind of thing in the summer?
Yeah, we do. And actually, we just got our famous lobster tank fixed at the beginning of the summer. We've had it for years, and it was down for a couple of years, and then with a lot of hard work and sweat, it's back. And so now we have live lobsters too, and we still have them actually now. So.
Of course, the bad thing about that is if you get used to them being in there, the lobsters, it's like a temporary situation,
I know.
So, and Judy Crocker is with us today. She's working with you guys. She wrote something that I can't see, but it is cooking, even though it's not searing, which it would be in the restaurant. This is just because we lost some heat.
In the restaurant.
Lost a little bit of heat on the drive over. Thank you for being brave enough to bring it in the car.
Oh yes, thank Judy. It was her car.
There's we can't really show it to you, but there, because of the excessive heat not excessive, but because of the great heat of the stone, there's like a stainless steel cradle that this sits in. It's not just sitting on a plate.
No, this is heavy duty porcelain. And then there is a little metal frame underneath here, and we have a special tool. Can you hand me that tool? Thanks.
Okay.
There, okay.
Here
stone, whether you're putting it on or off, you use this special tool.
Oh, I see.
Because it's too hot. This is very sturdy because it's a heavy stone, as you know.
As we noticed, Yeah. So then that goes inside the porcelain.
Cradle is a good word for it.
I know you certainly got a workout carrying in 2 of those today.
That's about as many as I can handle.
Yeah.
We have one server who is a big guy, and he can handle 3.
So, well, I bet you could get a woman who had that kind of strength. It was probably getting used to the heft of it.
Yes.
And that kind of
like
thing.
Like I said, it's a good workout.
So, we are here with Kate Lomask, who is the general manager of Jake Rooney's. They are in Harwich Port. It's a family restaurant celebrating its 25th year in the community. And there are, as I said, many other family restaurants. You just happen to be having a big party this week.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that party and some of the things people can expect.
Well, we have something going on almost every night. Last night we had Jimmy Craven, for those old Jake Rooney fans. They'll remember him. He used to play there years ago. And tonight we have a special paint night, and we have karaoke at 9:00. And then tomorrow we have trivia, and we have the Business After Hours group coming in from Harwich Chamber of Commerce. And then on Friday we have an Elvis impersonator.
Oh, I didn't see that one on the schedule.
Great. Oh, you should see him. You should come if you can. He's hilarious.
So Elvis will be in the house.
Elvis will be in the house. He's talented and he's funny. He has a sense of humor about himself. So it's a very entertaining show.
That sounds great.
Saturday night we have, of course, the legend John Morgan, who's there every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And on Sunday we have Gino, who sings Sinatra.
I saw that. I was going to say about the Elvis impersonator. Can you imagine that Elvis knew or could ever imagine that he'd be working this long after death?
No, or how many things he sold.
That's right. Or how many couples he married out there in Las Vegas. Yes. So nobody getting married that you know of on Friday at the restaurant.
No, but you never know.
So, okay. So if you are looking for a quick economical wedding.
This is ordained, yes. We'll ask him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it seems like it should go with the suit being ordained,
I know.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself and cooking. You obviously have a background that's a little bit different than restaurants. So, are you a big cook at home?
Yes, I was until I moved here, because now I live in a restaurant. So,
so the last thing you want to do is fire up the hot stones at home.
Right. So, I used to do cooking for myself. I used to enjoy making my own sauces, actually, coincidentally. That's, what Arthur is amazing at. And I would love for him to teach me more. But yeah, most of my background, like I said, was like in marketing. I worked in restaurants, but I do enjoy cooking. Cheesecake is my favorite thing to make. I make a pretty good cheesecake.
I cannot make cheesecake.
Really?
It never comes out very well. Perhaps you'll share a recipe.
I will share some secrets if you want.
You know why? It's, I think that most people naturally fall into savory or sweet, and I'm really on the savory side. Like I'll open the refrigerator and say, okay, so what that's in here can I put together to make a dish? And that's my strength, the idea of the chemistry that goes into baking, not precise enough,
Yeah,
so,
you're actually right. You have to be so much more precise in baking than you do with other cooking.
So it, now, you have, I would imagine, I feel badly, but I haven't been to Jake Rooney's, but I would imagine that you have a bar where people can socialize as well as the dining room.
Yeah, it's actually broken up into 3 different sections. We have a bar and a stage and a large dining room. And for people who know the way it used to look, about 5 years ago, the bar used to be on this side. They totally took down that bar and moved the bar to the other side, made it bigger. So there's a brand new bar, and it has hand-blown glass lights hanging from it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and now the old bar is the new dining room. So we also use it like a private function room.
Did that give you, obviously a new option if it gave you a private function room, and did it give you more table space as well?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. It worked out really well. And actually, someone had a stone grill party in that dining room. With 35 stone grills all together at one time. Yeah. That was exciting to watch.
You expect people to start, at that point, you expect people to be able to start juggling the utensils, because that's a lot of stone grilling going on. Yeah. It does bring to mind the idea of hibachi cooking or, those kinds of restaurants. So it's this idea of cooking for yourself.
Yeah.
So I lost my train of thought. Did anyone see it rumbling by? I did want to say that this is a great time if you have any questions for Kate, questions about Jake Rooney's, about Stone Grill, cooking at your table, anything that might come to mind. Please feel free to type them in the Facebook Live comment section, and we'll read them out and have Kate answer them. So
I'd like to mention the customer appreciation party.
Oh, that'd be great. When is that?
Okay, that'll be Sunday. That's going to be the end of our week of celebration. So Sunday from noon till 4. And we're going to have a little buffet, and we'll give away prizes, and just to say thank you to the customers for supporting us for so many years.
I think I saw on your website that you're doing scratch tickets that are discounts for future.
That'll be a mail out campaign later
I
on, but
see.
we will have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah,
it sounds
we
wonderful.
actually got a wheel that you spin. So people can come in.
Are you
spin the wheel
playing
and get a prize.
Vanna White?
Yes, I will be handing you your prize. Congratulations! Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a fun time. Now, tell me a little bit. Do you find that there's a sort of restaurant community, within your town, within your village,
Definitely.
within the Cape? I've always been amazed at how people get together and to support each other, to support causes. Tell me a little bit about how you've encountered that.
Well, that's actually one thing I was surprised at, and happily surprised. There is such a nice network of restaurant owners and restaurant workers that get together and support each other, like you say. And you can only benefit by sharing your experiences with other restaurants. It's better for everybody. And it's really nice to be able to talk to someone who's been in business for 30 years and might have a little, advice for you, kind of a thing.
Do you find that for that summer help, you tend to get people coming back? Do you sort of get people out of high school and then college summers and that kind of thing?
Sometimes we do. Most of the time, there is a strong exchange student program that goes on.
Is it the H-2B or?
Yeah, and the J-1s. So actually, we get a lot of nice kids from other countries coming in, hard workers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Any countries that were particularly well represented this past summer?
It changes every year. We had a lot from Serbia this year. So yeah.
It's interesting to me. We were eating at the Wee Packet in Dennis, and our waiter was, I believe, from China, and was going to university there. Although, and so he was talking about his country and what he liked about this country. It's fun, it's sort of like an added part of your meal. We have the 5-minute sign, so I'm going to say, what have I forgotten to ask you, Kate? What would you like to tell the community as you're having your celebration?
Well, I encourage everyone to come out and see us, and we'll celebrate together. And I just want to thank everyone for being a Jake Rooney's customer for 25 years. We're very, very lucky with the customers and the staff that we have. We have a strong, friendly staff, and we have amazing customers. It's really like a family there.
That's wonderful. And we talked a bit about, this being a signature for you because you have the only license for the Stone Grill. I did notice that there were Stone Grill restaurants in Toronto. And you said your dad first encountered it in Australia?
Yep.
So obviously in some other places. And it makes a lot of sense, especially if you like to grill, because it's right here and it's all set to go. But are there, at your bar, are there any specialty cocktails that you're well known for?
Well, we have a Rooney's Punchini. That packs a pretty good punch, but besides that, we're a full service.
Bring a designated driver.
That's right.
What's in the Rooney's Punchini?
Oh my goodness. Dark rum, light rum, apricot, watermelon, banana, a little cranberry, a little grenadine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would pack a punch.
Kitchen sink.
or it's a fruity variation on Long Island iced tea. But yes, bring a designated driver for that one.
Yeah, just one of those.
And we are so glad that you were able to come. Thank you for bringing the hot stone. And if people really want to see it sizzle, you have to go to the restaurant because this is not a takeout kind of thing.
No.
So generally speaking, you'll have to go to the restaurant if you want to cook on it. And is that available during the anniversary week as well as
it is.
The specials?
It's available every day.
Perfect. It sounds great. And anything else with any new projects with local foods or anything?
No, we're after our 25th anniversary special menu. Then we'll be recreating the fall menu. So we'll have the main menu, but then the fall specials.
What's one of them? I don't remember.
Oh, some yummy stuff coming up. The sautéed chicken, sausage, mussels, shrimp, and lobster saffron tomato broth.
Oh, that sounds good. Saffron's wonderful.
Yes, yeah.
So, okay, thank you for coming. Thank you all for watching and joining us next week. We have on the schedule the Cape Cod chapter of the wood turners. They're going to be turning wood into bowls and other items. We'll get to see how a lathe works. And they're also doing a really interesting project with the John F. Kennedy with Hyannis Port, reclaimed wood from there. So if you want to see all that, join us next week at noon on Wednesday.
Thanks, Gwen.